Alright folks, I'm Rob from the Global Society and I'm here with Lauren Soars, who has got the most awesome story and I thought I wanted to share it with you. So, Lauren, well, tell me about your exchange experience to Clemson.
Right, Clemson, with a P, without the P in the writing.
Clemson.
So I went to Clemson in August 2015 and ended up going on a year exchange. And I chose Clemson for the work opportunities and ended up working with Clemson's athletic department, primarily with their football team, who were number one in the country. It's a big deal in America.
It's a massive, in fact, tell people, because I think a lot of people don't understand just how massive college football is. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, for some context, Clemson is a town of 21,000 people, and their stadium sells out every single game, no matter who they're playing, with 85,000 people, and they get another 100 to 200,000 people outside the stadium tailgating every game.
What's tailgating?
Tailgating, here we think it's like sitting in the back of your ute with a couple of beers. Over there it is full banquet tables, chandeliers, plasma screens, all under a pop-up tent.
That's incredible.
Yes.
That's so epic. What I loved about your story, Lauren, so we're here at a conference and we've just heard Lauren speak about her experience, and what I loved about it was that this was no accident for you.
No, not at all.
So tell me more about that. How did you manage to design this experience? What was the goal that sort of set you down this track?
The honest answer is, watching Remember the Titans when I was about 10 years old, I wanted to work in football, and so every decision I've made has been to work in football. So I went to Clemson with the idea that that's what I was going to do. And I always knew I wanted to go to America, and Bond had about 7 partner universities, and I cut that down to 2 football schools, and Clemson ended up having the classes that I needed, so that's how it worked out. And I lucked out because they ended up being the national champions in football, so it was quite a lucky day for me. And when I went over there, I did all my general electives and picked them all in sports event management. I ended up sending some emails before I left, but never got any responses, as you usually do. And when I went over there, I went to my first football game, didn't think that anything would happen, that I wouldn't get down on the field. And the next day, I went and saw the guy who organised the whole thing, knocked on his door, he offered me a job on the spot, and so I spent most of my exchange working full-time for the athletic department.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So it's so important to hustle, right? Like to work hard and to follow things up, right?
Yes, and always look for those opportunities. Don't be disheartened if someone says no, because there's always another door that can open.
And so for you, how important was this? So it's something that you wanted to do for so long, and so it's something that you sort of designed. How important was it to you to kind of achieve that goal?
So important. I have given up, honestly, everything in my life to do it, and that's fine. That's a choice that I made. Some people go on exchange to travel, to meet new people. For me, it was all about getting that job and that work experience.
Yeah.
So literally every decision I made, I went to Bond because of its sports connections, because of its program. I interned for the Brisbane Broncos because I knew they had NFL contacts. I work heavily in surf lifesaving, and I used all those contacts to the max. So getting over there and getting that job was my number one goal. So as soon as I went over there, that's what I was trying to do.
What's incredible about this, and what I love about Lauren, your story, which is so different to a lot of people, a lot of people don't know what they want to do with their life before they go on exchange, and it's this wonderful thing that it helps people find direction. But for you, how does it feel that exchange managed to contribute so much to that really burning goal that you've got?
Yeah, phenomenal. And I was a little scared that I'd get over there, achieve it, and realise it wasn't what I wanted to do and have to start again. But every day I was doing something that just excited me so much more, and I went, this is what I'm doing with my life. And coming back, I wish every day that I was still back over there, but I've made these huge connections that are wanting to help me get to my next stage, because I am so driven. And that international factor, I guess the exotic factor of being Australian, really helps, because I'm the Australian girl that was at Clemson, so they remember me straight away.
That's so cool. And so what's next for you? What is next?
What's next? So I'm currently working for the Games, so the Commonwealth Games on the Gold Coast. So I have a contract until April, and from January to April I'm travelling around Australia with the Queen's baton. So I'm a bit locked into that. But at the end of the month I'm working at a college football game that's happening in Sydney between Stanford and Rice. So I've been working on that for a while to get that. And then afterwards I'm hoping to go back to America. I'm sitting a test so I can study my MBA tomorrow.
Nice.
4-hour exam out of university, very hard to study for. And then, yeah, I'm using all my contacts back in America to get back over there, whether that's college, football, professional, or some third party.
Unreal. And so if somebody has this kind of burning passion, something that they've always wanted to do, and it's, I mean, that's a pretty ambitious goal that you had.
Yes.
What would you say to that person who, the passion is there, the burning desire is there to chase this goal? What would you tell them?
I think find that one thing that you want to do and hold on to it and make it guide your decisions. Things in my social life have impacted what I'm doing as a job, and make sure that when you do get it, that it is what you want to do and that passion's still there. I actually wrote a list of goals that I wanted to achieve, which sounds a bit nerdy, but it totally worked, and I still have that goal. And honestly, career-wise, everything that I've said to myself I will do, I have done. And just ticking those things off the list is a huge thing for me, because I am achievement-orientated.
So normally we'd wrap up this interview here, but this is really interesting.
Yeah.
How important is that kind of visualization exercise, do you think?
Hugely important, and that's in everything you do. If you are an elite sports star, whether it's your career, just studying, you have to find that thing that you're aiming towards, otherwise your motivation just falls apart.
And so in a really practical, applied way, how does somebody do that? How does somebody write their goals down and then go about working through them?
Well, I'll tell you a story that I was told in high school that has stuck with me forever. So a boy came to the principal and said, on my 21st birthday, I'm going to be worth $1 million. And the principal said, that's all well and good, but how are you going to do it? So 2 days later, he came back with a 14-step list. Started with him mowing lawns, him running his own lawn mowing business. Anyway, fast forward about 6 years, on his 21st birthday, the principal got an invitation to his party, and he walked her into his office and said, as of today, I'm worth $14 million. And he showed her the list still in a frame, still the same list, just being crossed out, rearranged. And I think that's what it's all about, is writing that list, or whether it's pictures or something that helps you. For me, I have photos of working in America to really help me. And being willing to change that list. Obviously, I've changed so many times. I didn't think that I would come back to Australia, but I have, and gotten a huge opportunity. And that's definitely something to do, be adaptable and flexible.
Such epic advice. Thanks so much for your time and sharing.
Thank you very much.
Epic.